Kamusta na kayo?
Hola, hola, everyone.
Kamusta?
There we go. Anthony Francisco, everybody, came with the very soft kamusta na.
Yeah.
Kamusta na?
He said it in the very polite way. I tried to say it in the very like loud,
Aggressive
way.
Kamusta? Aggressive.
It almost sounded like a little like we've been watching Cobra Kai. It sounded like one of like those karate like how Nico says it.
Kamusta. Everybody, please welcome our special guest, Anthony Francisco.
Yes.
If you don't know who he is, he actually he drew up MCU characters like Groot. Baby Groot.
Yeah.
And also Teen Groot.
Teen Groot. All the Groots from this pot all the way to Teen Groot.
Oh my
in
god.
Infinity War.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just give everyone like who you are? Like
Yeah, because I don't want to miss anything.
I don't want to butcher like your titles either. I'm just like, dang, like this is crazy.
It is a long title. I had to get used to saying such a long title back then. And then I have to add former now because I left recently to try to direct and start my own production company.
Dolphin, correct?
At Dolphin, yeah.
Yes.
So the official title when I was there was Marvel Studios Senior Visual Development Artist. So that was hard to say sometimes.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
I was doing interviews and I would just laugh in the middle of it. Sometimes I go, oh man, this is hard for some reason today. Yeah, so what that entails is I'm part of a full-time staff of artists called the Marvel Studios Visual Development Team. And we are in charge of the heroes and villains of all the MCU. So character designs, creature
That's
design.
so cool.
That's so crazy.
Could
to
you
me.
could you explain to everybody, because I don't want to miss anybody that you've created. So can you tell everybody every MCU character that you've made?
Okay, so first the first job I got there was on Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Volume 1.
Yes.
And Charlie, when a close friend of mine, knew that I still... I started off as a creature designer when I started off in the industry like 22 years ago. And he still thought I just did that. But that was perfect because I got the job.
Yeah, like if it works, it works.
Yeah, if it works. And I happen to do characters too and keyframes because visual development also does keyframe moments of the film, not just character design or creature design.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's some scenes in the film where, for example, my most favorite one that people don't know about that I worked on was the scene in Infinity War where Thanos versus Doctor Strange. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When he brings down the moon on him. Yeah.
Wait, so you
worked
keyframed that
on
whole
that?
spot?
That was my idea. I pitched that idea.
Yeah!
Heck, that is so cool. What the heck?
Now I get to say to other people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude,
We're gonna be
get
just,
all this credit.
honestly,
I love
we're
it.
just gonna be geeking out this entire like podcast. And then like also too, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of your keyframes too was in Thor's Love and Thunder, right?
Yes, yeah, that's another one. So I guess I'm kind of known as the idea guy when it comes to like just crazy stuff, right? Where I'm always given this task of a lot of elements inside it's kind of difficult. This was actually challenging, that fight scene, but it came out cool. I've just recently watched it on Disney Plus. Things are so busy with all the other stuff I'm working on. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but you guys seen it, right?
I've seen parts of it, and then that's when I saw like you had posted that keyframe was yours, and I was just like, oh my god, that's so cool! Like what
those
the heck?
characters in there, the hairy bird-like looking creatures. So that's an original design for that particular film. So
By you?
Gosh.
Yeah, I designed that.
That's
too.
so crazy. So I guess like my thing is like, cause I like to think I'm a creative person, but then I see like people like you, and I'm just like, damn, I have no like ounce of creativity in me. Like as a designer like that, and, like how does that even process in your mind? Like the beginning process of like, this is what I imagine that character to look like.
Yeah, it is a process. I think that you would be able to exercise that muscle. I think all of us are actually creative. You may be saying you're not creative, but you are. And especially if you're around a group of people that love to just throw out ideas, and it's almost like when you do what do you do when you do the acting exercise or when you do improv.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
improv.
It's kind of like improv where you never really say no to whatever idea, and hopefully the person you're brainstorming with never shoots down your idea.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know?
That's always the worst. Like when
Yeah.
you're like spitballing ideas and something like, no, that's whack. I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I don't want to say anything anymore.
Yeah. So when I used to teach a class of creature design, character design, I would say to the students that there's no stupid idea because even the silliest idea could lead you to something amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's so crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just being in the space that you were formerly in. You're still in this headspace generally, but like formerly working with like Marvel Studios, it's like anything goes, especially when it comes to a movie. Like like what I've loved about the MCU was just that the creativity, and it just felt like there are no boundaries when it comes to the storyline and all the creative things that they have going on.
Yeah, definitely. And everything, we make sure we source the comic books because I've been a Marvel fan ever since I was 5, I think.
Right.
I feel like you would have to, right?
Yeah. I think that's the genius of Vis-Dev and Kevin Feige and stuff. He is a true fan of Marvel, and he would make sure he hired the people that loved superheroes.
Right.
DC, Marvel, it doesn't matter which side you're on. If you love them, then you want the fandom. What you want is what the fans want if you're truly superhero geek, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. Were you born here or were you born in the Philippines?
I was born in the Philippines.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so all I know is when I was back in the Philippines, like, I don't know, like a decade ago or something like that, the only superhero that they knew at that time was Darna.
Yeah,
right?
Darna, yes. Darna was one that I would look at, but I was always attracted to the more, scary stuff. So Zuma was the one I liked.
Okay.
He's the guy with the snakes attached to his back. That was
The
awesome.
Mumu?
The Moo
That's scary. You just scared me right now.
I know, right? Just don't say Mumu like 3 times in a row. The Mumu might pop up.
Right.
But then I realized Mumu. I wonder. I was trying to figure out why they called it Mumu, because there's this clothing type called Mumu that you wear. I guess it's like this long kind of drapey.
Okay.
So that's called a Mumu.
Oh, so that's what.
I wonder. I don't know. I'm just.
That's maybe where they got it from.
Maybe there's some correlation there.
Yeah.
I think when we do like a Halloween episode, we could kind of do the research of the Mumu and see like what it's about.
We could do like Mumu research for like Filipinos, and then for Mexicans, we could just do like La Llorona and everything like that.
Yeah.
We could. We could.
You should have me back here for that.
Yeah. Like
as long as we all dress up in costumes, I'm with it.
I have some scary stories for you guys.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Oh God! Well, go. It's almost Halloween.
Yeah.
It's almost Halloween.
Scary story.
This will be like a 5-hour interview.
But so going back to it though, like when I was in the Philippines, like I felt like all they knew was Darna. So how did like the Marvel universe like get to you?
Well, I guess it's I don't know. Maybe it's from my uncles or their comic books, and my lolo on my dad's side. He loves reading comic books. So
really?
Legend has it that he had Superman #1 or Batman #1.
Ooh.
What?
He collected a lot, but in the Philippines it's baha. It gets baha, flood, like
Yeah. Oh wow.
So the under part of the house got like
destroyed. And all the comics and everything was just gone, huh?
It really sucks. I should have inherited that.
Yeah, you're
I know.
like, damn it, if it wasn't for that.
You're like, I would have had a PSA 10 graded.
So like, have you always had like an interest in like those the character development of comic books?
Yeah, I think going back to the Philippine stuff, because my family loved telling scary stories, and the tikbalang, the aswang, the
Aswang,
chana,
yeah.
right? Those really like captivated me, and we're also really religious, so there's a lot of religious artifacts and religious. I'm not as religious now, but all that symbolism, I think, just really kind of molded me with my aesthetic, right? And there's a lot of my aunts, they like also collecting like tribal stuff, like the Igorots. My dad actually used to tell me in the Philippines every Christmas, was it, tribes would come down from the mountains and then do like performances or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when
That's
I was
cool.
younger. So
What part of the Philippines?
we're in the city Cubao, but they're from, I don't know where they're from, but they would go from house to house. I don't remember this actually. My dad was just telling me this.
Oh wow.
What I remember that goes from house to house is the girl with the suman and the the little pastries, Filipino pastries.
Oh.
Are you familiar?
No, I'm
puto,
actually
suman.
not. So
yeah.
people would go house to house like selling pastries.
Yeah, it's like it's called oh my god, how can I forget? It's like this yellow suman. I think that's what it's called. No, suman is man, this is bad. This is bad. I can't remember. And there's one called well, oh my god, I can't remember this at the moment. And I can't say the other one because the other one is called puto. Also.
Oh no, you can say puto.
You can say it.
Let the putos fly.
Yeah, you can say it. It's totally fine.
I love the putos. And the kachintas.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I know. That's hella funny because when we first started dating, he mentioned something and he said puto. I was like, excuse me? And then he goes, well, yeah, like, and then I was just like,
rice cake.
you need to be careful. Yeah.
This is
I was like, when
rice.
you go to my side of like town, like, don't say that because they're definitely not gonna like know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
I know what you're talking about, but they won't. They're
Let
just
me
like, oh.
explain. It's
Yeah.
something you eat. What?
It's something you. I'm not calling you anything.
Yeah.
Unless I'm calling you a rice cake. That's all I'm doing.
That's right.
Right.
But
oh man, yeah.
Anthony, like your story just captivated me, and I actually got stuck on your Twitter page, like on the plane. You have one of the most interesting Twitter pages because you let all your ideas just fly out. You let everybody know exactly what you're thinking, and like I think one tweet that you said is like representation really matters. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't think a lot of people realize that when you look at all these Marvel characters, it's like they're looking at. They don't see you, the person who like created and designed these characters for everyone else to see. And I was especially captivated by the story that you had in regards to creating Baby Groot and how it correlates with your kid. Can you explain that story to everybody?
Yeah, that was so yeah, watching Baby Groot on screen feels like I captured now my son and my pretty much that Baby Groot is a little Filipino kid. It's like because I just totally just copied his body type when he was 4 years old. I was like, how else could I add more of my Filipino culture in here? Even though he's already already a tree plant, but I wanted to use a specific type of tree called the baliti tree in the Philippines, and there's stories about that, right? The baliti tree where the white lady like resides and stuff. So I used some of the textures from that and the way the roots kind of hang down as one of the limbs and the internal parts of Baby Groot, and put like a layering of like wooden panels on top, but trying to make it not look like anatomy, because James Gunn actually is pretty good with giving direction in the stuff that he wants with that. But the face, the cuteness of it, the eyes, this just looks like my son.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Did you see the photo that I sent?
Yeah, I did see it. I saw it, and that's so crazy because and it's funny, just like Baby Groot's personality too. It's so cute. Like everything about it is just like perfect. Like I can't imagine like another type of Groot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
Even if you look at Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it's unanimous that Groot is the most loved character on the.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, like every time I see like a baby Groot or like any Groot like type of like stuffed animal or anything, I'm just like, I really want to buy that. Like it's so adorable. It's so cute and it's perfect. It's literally perfect.
Yeah. Not to mention all the pottery that people start to make out of Baby Groot. I'm like, Groot's like here forever.
Yeah, oh, man. I really wish I took advantage of that time when it blew up, But sometimes, we're always brought up with be humble, don't say that you did any of this stuff, and that is something that it's good to be humble, but when it comes to work, sometimes you have to tell people what you've done, or else someone else will take credit. And I start seeing it differently now, where it's good to go have interviews. It's good to put yourself out there, and not be shy. Because I'm not really shy, but I never thought of jumping into the trend of it and just letting people know. And now I am, and I only now I realize that's really important, for especially to take care of your family, because you need to be seen as a higher level to be able to get paid more.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things that go with that. Obviously, like coming from a Filipino background, it's like, you need to prove to your parents and your family in some way, shape, or form that what you're doing is like super cool, and it's like helping you monetarily, right?
It's still not cool to my parents. No, just
He's like, I've been working on this for 22 years. It's still not cool.
Are you a graphic designer? I go, no, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm an animator. Oh, no.
They're like, Anak, can you make me a flyer for my birthday?
Do you do logos? No, I don't do logos.
That's so
Every time. These are the characters I've designed. Can you make me a logo?
You got this whole extensive list, and you're like, that's great, but the logo.
I don't watch Marvel films. So oh, no.
They're like, I'm Capcom, Anak. I told you I'm Capcom.
Do you get that sometimes, like when they don't know where exactly or what you do?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think because, like, me being an entertainment host, it's very, you don't really think about that part and aspect of, like, sports games or, like, radio hosting or anything like that. So I think my parents, when, like, I first started initially talking about it or even showing interest in it, they were kind of like, oh, okay, like, brushing it off, like, they don't know,
you talk for a living?
I literally put that on my TikTok bio. I was like, I talk for a living, like, that's all I do, like. And so then as I got older, and then I started figuring out, okay, this is that person on screen, I want to be that person on screen inside a stadium. It's not on TV, but that's where I want to be.
That's so cool.
And so then, like, red carpet correspondence, everything like that. I told my parents, like, I love to do that. I love being in people's, like, business like that.
She definitely does.
When it's not my business. Like, I love, like,
what you got there?
Yeah.
I know, right?
It's like that celebrities, like, wanting to know, like, what they've been up to and this and that. And, like, my parents, they weren't understanding, like, of, like, how to get there. But they were super supportive of me getting there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I think it's a little bit the same with me, where I don't know what it is. Except my dad. My dad kind of knew, because he wanted to be a photographer.
Oh, really?
He did, like, set photography in the Philippines a little bit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I wish he just pushed it to becoming a director. So maybe that's kind of like the line of artists, because I thought we didn't have any artists in our family, like Okoye. You comedian?
I know.
Comedians here.
And just like, you just got to constantly prove yourself until, like, it gets to that point.
Yeah.
But even more so too, it's like, I mean, as far as I know, you're the only Filipino like designer for, like, all these movies. Like, I don't know anybody else that comes off the top of the head, And granted, I'm sure there is, like, somebody else as well, but to reiterate, like, that's the reason why people like yourself should put your work out there and say, like, this is why I do what I do. Like, it's not only cool that other people get to see all the characters that I've created, but, like, imagine some other Filipino kid, or even, like, a Mexican kid who just, like, never thought, like, wow, I could design, like, characters for movies. Like, I never thought that was a thing that I could do.
I didn't think that I could help in that way, actually. A good friend of mine, Ryan Moore, he's the guy who did the little 3-minute profile video that I sent you, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
So he helped me with that. He actually directed Manny, the documentary. So
Really?
I met with him, and I was doing this talk at Cine Sala, and a great group of Filipino, like, creatives, directors. I'm blanking on one of the names, but she's really, like, big now, popular, directing, like, TV shows and stuff.
That's super cool.
And I forget her name. This is not good. Maybe you could put it in the comments.
We'll do more research.
Research.
You know, oh my god, I talked to her too a little bit. She's inspiring. So, I almost didn't want the video out because it was like, I'm talking myself up too much, you know, or I'm taking credit for stuff that, you know, I deserve to take credit for, but it just feels like, am I gonna ruffle any feathers, you know, that kind of thinking. And if you're being wronged and then you're thinking, am I gonna ruffle the person's feathers that's wronging me, right? I mean, what is that? Is that like some kind of trauma that's happened? Like I can't, you know, like stand up for myself?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a couple things happen in this. Like, I feel like Filipinos as a culture, like we just like to work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we just want to work hard because at the end of the day, we just want to feed our family. We also just want to make sure we're good too, you know? And we want to make sure like we're full and we're good to go. So when it comes to, I mean, I guess like unnecessary boasting, it kind of becomes a distraction, and then it leads to like more unwanted problems and issues that you got to solve later on, and attention, of course,
But in this case, you know, luckily my friend was able to convince me in that sense where you're showing other Filipinos that we are in the industry.
Yeah.
So and that's when I understand now what that means. Representation matters. And I didn't, and of course there's that insecurity of, if I put this out, no one's gonna care. You know, if I don't know why sometimes I think that way.
Oh, we always think every one of us thinks that way.
We always think that way.
Yeah, and then finally goes, no, you know, this is good for the Philippines, for, you know, Philippine people in America and stuff like that. And then we did put it out, and I was nervous, of course. And for a little bit, it didn't gain traction until someone shared on Facebook, and it got 4 million views.
Oh God, it would be Facebook too.
I know. It would be Facebook. And that's so crazy too. Like you said, you don't realize it until like you hear from another person's perspective.
Yeah.
Because like as of recently, and I don't think I even told Nico, but someone, I think it was Mount Sac. It's a community college here. They reached out to me asking me if I could talk to their students, and I was like me, like why, like that's why so me? Cool. But then like as I got to talk to them, they were like, well, you know, you are a Latina in this industry that we're not represented that much, you know, and it's just like you don't realize it until you actually like, okay, like yeah, I am, and like I took a step back. I'm like, yeah, I am here, you know, and like I should be proud of it, and I should be putting my stuff out there, like, you know, that I am doing A, B, and C because it might inspire somebody else. So
yeah, definitely, that's so cool, and I guess because of the way we think, we don't think in those terms, because entertainment's almost like I just want to be creative. But then there's the other side of things where the things are always separate, always like seen this way, and your story isn't told because the gatekeepers don't want to tell it or just don't know you're there.
Yeah,
I kind of say that to myself now more often, instead of making a false narrative that you're being held down or something. What if it's because they don't know you exist?
Yeah.
Until you actually talk about yourself.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean,
or here, are you guys, you know, meeting you guys?
Yeah, of course. And, you know, I feel like it's important for everybody to know, like, you know, just being a kid who was just born in the Philippines and who was just interested in Marvel and, you know, wanting to just draw and create. Like, how did you even what was your journey like going from that point up until now?
Well, that's crazy.
Like, how did you even get the job?
Yeah, actually, I know exactly the process, how it happened. It's funny that it's said that way, but just it also feels like it's also luck at the same time. But I could really boil it down to, and then everyone can do this. Really, the word networking isn't really the right term for it. But it's almost like just organically putting yourself out there and growing with other artists of your, you know, of your batch. Let's say.
Oh, okay.
So from the Philippines, you know, we got our what do you call this? Our papers, I guess.
Yeah.
Got approved, and luckily, because by 21, I think I can't come here anymore. And I was kind of old already. I was like 17.
Oh, wow.
You know, leaving the Philippines. I got here I think I was 18. 17 or 18, somewhere there.
Yeah, and that's basically college already, right?
Yeah,
in the
college.
Philippines.
Oh, I was in college at 15 in the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
skip middle school. Like, there's no like 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, I
Yeah.
believe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Only
amazing.
1 to
Philippines.
4. Only 4 years in high school.
What?
Yeah.
I
So
did not know that.
13, I was in high school already. 13.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll continue.
Yeah, so I did go to UST, University of Santo Tomas in the Philippines, and that was fun. But it's very different from what I wanted to do, which was to do comic books.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and going back to representation, Will Sportacio was a Filipino artist doing Marvel comics.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
So he is someone I think I got inspired by, and of course Jim Lee was another guy who's Asian, so it just made you like believe, I guess. But at that time you didn't really realize that just they're good artists, and it's not because of their ethnicity or anything.
Yeah.
Because all these guys. But I kind of gravitated to Jim Lee's artwork more. What else?
Why was that? Why did you gravitate more toward his artwork?
It's just so, how do you explain it? It's so action packed. The storytelling's amazing. Designs for his characters are really high level. Travis Charis was another guy that I liked in comic books, and the same kind of reasoning is because of that energy and the design and the quality of work. I have to mention now Frank Frazetta. He's not a comic book guy, but he did Heavy Metal magazine covers, and he's just an amazing artist, painter, you know, and the energy and just savageness of his artwork really kind of added to my work. But there's more influences. Norman Rockwell eventually, because that's like kind of the stuff that what do you call it, the Norman Rockwell. Oh my god, why am I forgetting names? Oh my god, why? How can I? It's like in the tip of my tongue right now. I was gonna say Norman Rockwell and his contemporaries were like the inspiration for how Marvel kind of looked like, you know,
wow.
the way things are designed there, and you could really see it in What If.
Oh, okay.
The anime series. I don't know. I went on a tangent there. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Just take that out.
So then you have all these inspirations basically,
Yeah.
and like that kind of like led you to really want to.
Well, yeah. So we went from we finally got here in America, and I didn't realize how much opportunity was in LA. I was in LA first, and this goes back to me not knowing what's out there or what the location was abundant with entertainment,
Right.
studios and stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
Because you never thought that you could go there, get there, I think it was just after I had a little brief Navy thing. I went to the Navy for a little bit.
Oh, what?
I wish.
I like how you said it was just like a.
I know.
It was kind of like it's just a phase,
Yeah.
you know.
A
Yeah.
little portion of my life.
I had to get away from my family. But then I was tricked to going in the Navy by a friend of mine. Not really tricked, but it's like, hey, we should go to the Navy. We could buy our house, our own house, blah, 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 with the GI Bill and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It was.
So you did get tricked. You literally got tricked to go to the Navy.
Oh
guess
my gosh.
you could say that. They'd say, where do you want to go? The Navy's awesome. Okay, maybe my experience with that part of my life maybe wasn't as awesome because maybe it's the person I was dealing with. I just want to make sure that's clear, Navy people.
He's like, think about it. We'll be on a boat. We'll go everywhere.
Yeah, we'll go live life, date a lot of women, and sailor's life. I go. So my friend wanted to do that so badly, and then our recruiter was Filipino, and we're like,
There we go.
there it is. Oh yeah, I got this. I got 2 houses here. Blah blah. I was thinking, it sounded really great,
Yeah.
So I want to stay on the West Coast. I don't want to be on a ship, I want to. And then they gave me everything opposite. They gave me the East Coast. I'm on a ship. I didn't do art because I wanted to be in the media part of it, do art.
Oh.
I think maybe if he was able to get me in the art side of the Navy, I would enjoy it more. The worst part is I didn't realize I was very seasick.
Oh my
gosh.
First of all, okay.
Joining the Navy.
You get tricked into going to the Navy. Did you just find out you were seasick because of that, or you knew?
When our ship left the port, and I'm a tough guy. Grew up streets of the Philippines, not really. I had a lot of fights. I'm not that tall, by the way. So luckily, I also do jiu-jitsu, so that really helped defend me against the big bullies in the Navy. Plus being in LA, you do get associated with some gang life a little bit.
Yeah.
Another reason why I had to leave for the Navy to be out of the area.
Oh wow!
In our area, in Atwater Village, is the Rascals. It's the Tunaville, and there's the Filipino gangs that's there. That's a story for another time.
Yeah.
But I wasn't way deep in it. End up going to the Navy. It's funny because I'm developing a story called Seasick. And let me just boil it down to my log line. Let me try it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's hear it.
My log line is based on my life, right? A little bit, and it's a dramedy about coming from the Philippines. Immigration story a little bit, and kind of blending into the culture here. So okay, troubled teen trying to escape gang life in LA joins the Navy. And finds out he's afraid of open water.
Oh my god.
And now has to get out at all costs.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a very unique story, I'll give you that.
Because when that ship left from port, I was, I'm macho, what's this thing I'm feeling? It's like I can't show weakness with all these buff guys here, and and that's when I started
realizing.
Up.
Oh
my god!
I have to look out in the horizon just to make sure I don't, hurl.
See, where you gotta flip it is that whenever this person gets seasick, it's actually like a superpower.
Oh my gosh!
No, think about it. He's throwing up like acid or something, and it burns people. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The disadvantage is actually the advantage.
Oh my god!
Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, with that idea, actually, because I'm an artist, creative mind, what I'm trying to promote here is your creativity, your imagination can help you go through all the trying times you have to go through.
I love that.
There we go.
I love that, actually.
This is this button's an applause, by the way. So
You're just pushing around the button.
Yeah. So that really helped me, and a lot of Disney films and comic books. Just kidding, music is also very important. Because since I was seasick, things were really bad for me when the ship goes out, and sometimes we'd be out for 2 months, and it's really I wanted to die.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you did all that for a couple months.
Yeah, he gets motion sickness too.
Oh, you do, yeah.
So for instance, I can't go to Universal, for example, because all the rides have you got to put on the goggles or something, and oh my god, I went on the Harry Potter ride once, and I was damn near about to throw. I was sweating. I was sweating bullets no other.
Brother.
See? He knows what I'm talking about.
And it's funny because
I'm me. I'm the Navy kid.
Maybe you could be in my film.
Yeah, right?
It's a little short,
Just give him a man bun. That's all I'll know. That's all I'll know is me.
Yeah,
Right?
that's so funny.
Yeah, and it's funny because every time, we just recently went on a vacation, and they told us to Seattle, and they told us, oh, ride the ferry, and I was just I want to ride the ferry. I know he's not gonna last on the ferry. I was like, so we're not gonna last on the ferry.
That was like a 3-minute ferry ride. I would have been down. We would have hopped on, 3 minutes, hopped off.
That's what.
By the time we get off, he's already.
Yeah, that's what we say.
He's like, that's all you needed.
Yeah.
And so now,
so you're tougher than like my wife. My wife is. She's a tough girl. On our honeymoon, we were on a boat going to Molokai Island in Hawaii, right? And that I thought I could take it, but when that happens to me, I don't care who's around me. I don't care. I'm just on the floor on my face,
you're just like
throwing up. Give me a trash bag,
Just leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Just let this pass type of thing.
Yeah, oh man. But once we got in the water to do scuba diving, I wasn't seasick immediately when I, land on like go on ground or underwater where things are not moving. That I could anticipate the motions, then it's gone right away. It's so
that's
weird.
all it is.
I
It's
think
just
that's
more
what it
stable.
is. It's just like you can't anticipate the motion
You
of
can't.
like what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Oh
Exactly.
yeah. No.
So then, how long were you in the Navy before you ended up like just saying like, forget this, I'm gonna do everything that I'm doing now?
It's a funny story. I don't know if I should be talking about this, but I was I became, because of what happened, I didn't get the stuff I asked for, and the Navy. I made some good friends in the Navy and learned a lot about personalities, and our ship is like a problem child ship. So a lot of people there are just characters, including me. There's a guy there I remember who would always want to grapple me, even though I beat him every time. He's way taller than me, but he knows nothing about jiu-jitsu, so it's so easy to just like choke him out. But he always tries to jump me whenever I'm walking out. They just jump me, and what was I trying to say? I just had a 2-year thing, and I did. I wonder if I should say, but we'll just talk about it because to take it out of his
Yeah,
place
sure.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was not. I would be leaving the ship. I went UA. Okay, that was a
Oh, okay.
UA, unauthorized absence.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was just like, F this. I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back to the ship. Oh, but you might go to the brig. You'll be. Right, it's illegal. You are owned by the government now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's so funny.
yeah. So I did try different things to try to get kicked out.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the story is kind of true. There's something I did that really had to kick me out of the Navy.
And you will see it in his short
Yeah,
that he will be creating. Is it true, or it may or may not be?
We cannot confirm or deny.
Please follow my account, and then you'll find out. Still developing it, and I have a production company now, developing multiple ideas now. So that is one of it. Think of it as a series or a movie. My manager actually wants it as a movie. It feels like a real feel good, coming from humble beginnings to where I am now. It would be amazing though if I win an Academy Award or an Emmy, and then you tell that whole story.
Right.
Oh yeah,
That's amazing.
that'd
That
be
would
cool.
so
I mean, you
cool.
literally draw it from quote unquote real world inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I kind of drew my way out of poverty in a way, out of being poor. Just I heard that saying from another, I think it was Alexander Hamilton or something, where he wrote himself out of
Out
poverty.
of poverty.
So that's
Oh, I was gonna say like pun intended because he said he drew his way out, and I was like,
No,
oh, that was good.
that was actually
that was
what he
good.
was
That was
trying
good.
to do. So then now the complete, I don't know if it's a complete like 180, because the NFT world, I know that you're obviously getting into that.
Yeah.
How does that differ now, or if it's like any similarities from what you were doing with MCU?
Oh man, it's not that different. Still designing, and I also wanted to be a fine artist, fashion designer back then when I was younger. But fashion design was not for guys. That's what I was told when I was younger. So I could have done that. But NFT is it's so close to concept art because, especially the type of project I'm doing is a 10K generative art collection. So it's like a randomized collection of you do a layered PSD file, and then it goes into a program, and that kind of randomizes the layers so that it's something new and it's unique.
Okay, so then to kind of put into perspective, like if anybody's like hip to Photoshop, so you have the PSD file, and you're saying that you have 10,000 layers in that.
No.
I was gonna break it down. He's like, no, you're wrong.
He's like,
I'm glad you
layers
asked
are
that. Yeah. That means I didn't explain it good enough. So it's divided into attributes and then traits within the folders of attributes in a Photoshop file. So Photoshop file would have maybe, let's say, 8 attributes. So background, skin, body, head, hair, eyes, right? So within those attributes are traits. So the eye attribute will have traits within that. So it could be goggles, sad eyes. So within that. So you do like 8 to 25
Okay.
of those traits.
And then it can randomize too. You said it randomizes.
So when it goes into this program, it chooses a background first, and then chooses the skin, which is the silhouette of the body, and then chooses the eyes, the expression of the mouth, and then kind of puts it all together.
Just layers it up until you have the final product.
Okay,
it
okay.
takes a picture,
I knew
and it
that.
mints it, and then it goes.
Okay.
I got that.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got
I
it.
get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So then that's your NFT.
That is the collection. Yes, this one, the thing I sent.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving you guys.
Show it to the
Here.
world.
Can you show it? Here?
Yeah. Here, let me see.
Look, and it matches Jackie's yellow shirt today.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it does. Oh my
So
gosh.
could you explain, first of all, for people who don't know what NFTs, non-fungible tokens, right?
You want to
Yes.
repeat that? Just in case?
Non-fungible tokens. Can you explain to everybody at least your perspective of what an NFT is? Because you're more of the professional amongst us three right now.
Yes.
Knowledge.
And then we can get into this artwork.
Yeah, I've been following. I bought Bitcoin before. I think 2017 is when I started buying that stuff.
Oh, so you're rich.
No, I wish. No, I bought just a fraction of Bitcoin, not a full Bitcoin. I wish I did actually.
I know.
When it was just 3,000. I wish I bought one.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
I bought Ethereum when it was like $200.
Oh man, that's the one I ended up buying for 400.
Oh, there we go. See, I like this guy. I like
I
this
just
guy.
bought 4. I didn't buy a lot. Yeah, so because of that, so I kind of followed a little bit, and even some of the Marvel guys that I work with, kind of follow it a little bit too. But we were trying to figure out what it's about until Beeple, he just blew up the scene with his NFT.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right, non-fungible tokens. Supposedly what that means is, what I understand with my research is non-fungible means it's not interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have $1 and another $1, they're the same value. So it's interchangeable. So that's fungible.
Okay.
It's non-fungible when they're both unique and my painting is not the same as your painting. And
Interesting.
it's non-fungible. We can't because
It's not of
It's
equal
not
value.
it's not of equal value.
Or
You can't trade it
exchange-
off.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Ah.
So value, yes. Yeah.
So if me and Jackie have the exact same painting, it's not technically exactly the same in regards to like its
Yeah.
value.
Yeah, because with the NFT, you that's recorded on this blockchain. It's like a ledger in where in the internet, I guess.
Yeah.
The blockchain, and Web3, another term people like throw out there. And I'm still kind of learning as I go along. I just really got hooked with what happens with the art.
Mm-hmm.
So NFT, the amazing thing about it is that artists now could have income with the resale of the art. So when you do an original painting and it's sold, let's say, for $10,000, and someone resells it for 50 million, let's say, you don't get any of that money.
Any residual
Mhm.
income. Yeah.
You know, it's not like with film, actors get residuals, and
Right.
I wish artists would get that too.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I was wondering if you get residuals as an artist for, like, the movies that you were working on.
Unfortunately, no. I wish I had a manager back then. Maybe he could have been able to do something for me. But if you're because hired, work for hire,
Yeah.
then But there's still a opportunity to talk about the contract, which most of us don't, right? Because it's Marvel. What?
Yeah, like
It's
let's
Marvel,
just do it.
boom,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So non-fungible tokens, kind of that part of it made me wanna go into it and delve into it more.
Yeah, like so I mean, Jackie and I were just in Seattle, and I was telling you before this, like we were talking to our friend who's in the NFT space, and so the way we kind of understood it was like, let's say like you're a musician, right, and you have like a physical disc, and you sell it to somebody for $10. If they sell it to somebody for $20, you're not getting that.
Yes.
But if you put your song on the internet and someone listens to it and another person listens to it, you're constantly getting that flow of income. So when it comes to like a digital artist, for example, like yourself, if you create a digital piece of art and somebody purchases it off of you, then you get that income. But then when they resell it, you still get residual off of that resell.
Yeah, only if it's an NFT.
Yes.
Interesting.
So it's amazing. Then people that blow up out of nowhere, they could still be getting income if it sells for $100 million or something. And that's what's
crazy.
And you still get that piece of it. That's so crazy.
Yeah, because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the most important aspect is that like artists like yourself are just absolutely getting the credit that they deserve through NFTs.
Yeah, because it's your art. I mean, sometimes I guess it's changing now where NFT artists also get hired as a work for hire basis.
Oh wow.
So whoever the creator is of the idea of the project hires multiple artists to work on it. But so far it's been a awesome community. Everyone is not like snubs or something. They talk to you and it just shows with the new artist that comes out there. 13-year-old that made I don't know 4 million or something on her mint. I forgot the name of her long neck keys or something like that. I wish I joined at the very beginning, but since I was at Marvel, I didn't know if I could.
Okay.
And I was also waiting for a specific artist NFT for Marvel to come out. So I don't know if I should talk about that, but
no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Yes. Wow. I was just thinking how to word certain things now.
It's all good.
Usually when I have interviews and I'm still at Marvel, everything's like ready to. I'm not gonna say this stuff. I'm not gonna say that. Just making sure I don't slip up.
No, don't even worry.
That's so crazy though, because I did notice that like how. Kind of. I don't want to use.
He doesn't want the Avengers on him.
I don't want to say like the word like trained, but like you're trained. Like when you're, and correct me if I'm wrong. When you're within the MCU, you have to be like very careful of what you say.
Well, because you can't like say anything that's gonna jeopardize like a future movie.
Yes. Also, I don't want to jeopardize the fans' reactions that they need to not know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they watch it, they'll go, "Whoa!" So when it was a San Diego Comic-Con, past San Diego Con, when they're revealing all the stuff, I was like, what? They revealed all of that now?
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder why. And so that's when I suppose I designed Namor. I could say it now, of course, a portion of one of the costumes, but I'm so proud of that. It has Filipino and Latin influences.
Yes,
there we go.
I saw that.
Specifically Mesoamerican kind of, Am I supposed to say that? I'm not sure.
I mean, you tweeted it, so it's already out there.
They showed like the teaser trailer. It's totally fine.
See that? That's the telling me, hey, watch out. No, and I haven't actually had an interview. A lot of people are asking me of how I designed Namor, and there's a specific story going through that, and it gets pretty emotional, pretty deep when I was researching about it and realizing how much like hardship those people, just the world of people that got colonized went through, and goes back to the Philippines and just all these countries, all these indigenous people that try to help invaders, and then they get just killed for their gold. It's like what is
That's
happening
crazy.
here,
And that was the inspiration behind Namor.
The research, you could say that's the inspiration, because once I'm putting together the designs, I'm trying to reflect the royalty that was there, and the warrior spirit, just really wow. I'm still getting emotional about it just thinking about it. I don't know why. I think it also goes back to the Philippines, just how would it have been if we weren't colonized for 400 years?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because if we weren't colonized, we actually wouldn't even be called the Philippines.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
I've heard someone says Mahalrika or something like that.
Yeah. Well, all the at least to my understanding, like before the Philippines was the Philippines, we were all just like referred to as like our language. So I'd be like, Tagalog or like Pampangan or Visayan or whatever. And then it wasn't until King Philip's troops came in, and then they're like, we're calling this the Philippines.
Yeah.
So it's a weird and interesting dynamic, because even us being Filipino, it's like our name is based off the people who colonized us.
Yes. So in a way, we're still
Colonized.
Yeah. And that wow, we're getting pretty deep in this conversation. And that's okay. Because and then that it actually all started with the Dor Malaje when I designed that. That kind of research going into my own heritage and African culture, and there's this amazing documentary on HBO called "Eliminate All the Brutes," I think it's called, and it goes through how colonialists went through the world and how racism kind of started in a way, and how religion was involved in it, So again, everyone listening, it's not a target on, because sometimes with religion, when you say that, it becomes a sensitive topic. But this is just the research that's seen, bad people use tools to get to good people sometimes.
Right.
So that was a means of saying that we're better than you because we have this God.
Yes.
And in the Philippines, we worship real things. Again, going back to research, there's this through line that I kind of was going through with all the indigenous population. They all look like they're one people.
Yeah.
They all kind of look alike.
Yeah.
Like that brown skin with the indigenous, like Native American look, going even to Southeast Asian, Indian, and then what's that? The Eastern Arabian.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the term.
Mediterranean. That's. So like I went through all of that researching for here. Let me show this.
Of course.
This is the approved design that I did. So it's like the Dor Malaje. So in researching for this, I went through Native American stuff, Filipino samurai, and all focused under like a magnifying lens of like a African, aesthetic. Right? So it's all together. 80% African, like 5% samurai, 5% Filipino. Igorot specifically.
And for the people who are like listening, he's showing us his graphic of characters from Black Panther.
Yeah. So Okoye, and some people don't know this, but I actually had this designed and approved before the costume designer was signed on.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
And only now I was able to say that because it's like we won an Academy Award. Everything's good. So yeah, it was hard to go through the research sometimes and seeing how the oppression was really terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to show it in the art, try to bring that story here. And sometimes, like with the Dora Milaje design, they're like armored all the way to the neck, and you're not showing any skin. Because we don't want to show that they're what do you call this, primitive. Like even the Philippines, we were seen to be like, oh, primitive people when we were kings and queens too.
Yeah.
But I think what's cool about the story and how it correlates with the design is that, like, I think me and Jackie's mission is to bring together both like Mexican and Filipino cultures together.
Yes.
And with this specific design, it's like, yes, you're taking Black culture and you're also taking a little bit of Filipino culture and a little bit of like Hispanic culture, and seeing like we're all not so different.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, people from all other colonies came through and we're just like, we're trying to take over this land. And they all looked at us like, these are all people that we can take over. And we all wanted to and defend our countries and defend our people and do everything that we could. So to know this story that you just put together and how it all correlates with the design, at least to me, it means like, it doesn't matter if you're Black or Hispanic or Filipino or Asian or whatever. It's like we all come from the same type of roots. We all come from the same type of struggle. And that's what makes all of us like that much more relatable to each other.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Yeah, and it's like also too, like you said, when you were doing your research and you saw like all the different types of indigenous people, it's like we're not all that different, like we all had our hierarchies too, but at the same time, like you said, in your designs you can clearly see it too. You can see it, like someone's gonna recognize that 5% of Filipino that you put in there. Someone's gonna recognize that like 5% of like Latino that you put in there. Someone's gonna recognize it, and that's gonna be that like breakthrough of like, hey, like I know what that like means. I know what like this design looks like. I've seen it before. It's amazing, honestly. Like, it's so cool. Like, I just looking at this, I'm like, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think the story really like makes me more like encapsulated into the character too.
Definitely.
Yeah. When my friend, who was one of the coordinators there, he told me the reaction of Ryan Coogler. It was awesome. That he just almost fell off his seat or something.
That's amazing.
I love that. And then I actually met him.
Oh, you did?
Ryan Coogler?
Yeah, Ryan Coogler.
That's sick.
In one of the pre-Oscar parties, and he was telling me how he really liked it, and he loved that I put some Filipino elements in there.
Oh,
he even remember that.
That's
so
amazing.
Cool.
That's
more
so
round
cool.
of applause.
That's so cool. I know. We're just going to repeatedly push the button.
So I got to ask, what was the inspiration behind Loki? Because you had like a couple designs for like the horns, correct?
Oh, yeah. How do I explain this? Sometimes you guys edit this sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking of saying some other stuff that maybe if I was just telling you the story as if, with Loki, there was an interview. There's always this kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tension between costume designers and Marvel Vis-Dev.
Okay.
A little bit. That back and forth sometimes is hard for really well-established costume designers because they have to follow our aesthetic, because we're trusted by Kevin Feige himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because here's Kevin Feige. This is our team, right under Kevin Feige. We don't work for the costume designer. Other people would think that.
Interesting.
So with this design, some of the designs we did, most of the main characters are designed by my other co-workers. The head of visual development, Ryan Meinerding, he did Captain America. He designed that.
Sick.
Amazing.
With no input from, not no input. Of course, initial designs, you do the initial designs, and then you get to, it goes into a presentation, and then Kevin Feige and the team of production designers, production designer, costume designer, are there, including our department head is there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you talk about the project, the designs, and then we take it, and then we kind of finish it, and then the roadmap, the image itself goes to the costume department.
Okay.
And then they have to also put in. It's a very important collaboration because they have to make it work.
Right.
They have to emulate what you created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of the pipeline, the part that I don't want to ruffle any feathers is because, but you also want to say which part of the pipeline you are, because I've noticed when I would say, I designed the Namor or something, assuming I worked under the costume department, when in fact I didn't, and there's no input. This is very controversial stuff sometimes. This is I'll ruffle feathers, but I'm not a Marvel anymore. That's
Ruffle them up.
Ruffle them all up.
It's time to be honest. People won their awards already, so there's nothing. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to make it sound.
No, not at all.
It's just you get left on the side. You watch these documentaries about Bob Kane taking all the credit for Batman, and Bill Finger dies alone and no money. It's like, can they even share the limelight, talk about them, or whenever we post something, we always mention everyone involved. Costume designer, the director. Of course, it's always the director's vision. Wow, I'm very honest right now. Saying all this.
We love the honesty.
I love it because at the end of the day, that is true though. There are people, I think, in every type of industry that are going to just, here's what I did, and I did it, or make it seem like I did it. It's like, no, there's other people that led you to this.
They are leaders. They lead the department. That's already a big credit.
Yeah, huge credit.
And you don't have to say you designed it when actually none of them say that. They just don't say anything. Yeah.
And that's I think even worse when they don't say anything.
Yeah. But I feel like just as a Filipino guy, it's time that we empower each other by telling everybody what we do.
Yeah.
No, I again, it just goes back to let's inspire the next generation to do something that we're doing or something that they never thought of really doing. So
that's true. Yeah. Making sure it's out there. I do have to say though, Ruth Carter, the costume designer for Black Panther, she mentioned my name in multiple interviews, which is so nice of her.
Really?
For doing that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it when people do that, when they give people the credit that they deserve, It's amazing.
She goes, the architect behind the idea of the doorman.
The architect.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. I wish, because I actually just looked this up too, I wish that you were able to draw the art for Ari Agbayani, who is officially the first Filipina Marvel superwoman superhero.
Wow.
Is it officially? What?
I mean, according to Google, it is.
'Cause I thought there was another character called Wave.
Wave?
Yeah, she's from Cebu.
Oh, yeah.
I got some homies from Cebu.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cebu.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that hopefully someday could become a film, and hopefully I'm gonna try to see if I could be
Just
the director.
sneak it away in there.
See if I could.
You should be like, it's only right. She's Filipino. I'm Filipino.
Yeah.
We might as well do it.
That's how you have to pitch it,
Yeah. Oh man. When I end up leaving Marvel, I actually talked to Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Before leaving, and again, amazing guy, and very happy for the opportunities I have. Because the other reason why I left is because I got funding to develop my Filipino folklore series.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, that's another
Wow.
thing.
Wait, please, can you talk about your Filipino folklore series?
I could say a little bit. It's in development.
Okay.
What's my pitch? I haven't even practiced my log line well enough. It's like reluctant witch doctors in training.
Reluctant witch doctor. I like it already. I like it. He's like, nurses gone bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nurse. We should have a nurse there for sure. Funny you say nurse because it's witch doctors, but arbolarios are witch doctors in
Oh
the
my
Philippines.
gosh.
Oh yeah.
And they're healers, right? Through this spiritual kind of way of the earth. And
I think just when you hear the word witch, it's like immediately associated with evil.
imagine it's Harry Potter but with Filipino folklore.
Ooh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
What the heck? Oh my gosh.
And it's based off, the characters based off my kids. I have 2 kids, 2 amazing kids. So they're the reluctant witch doctors, and their dad is a witch doctor that got kidnapped into the underworld, and it's up to them to remember their dad's teachings to save him.
Wow.
Okay.
Ooh.
He said it's not Harry Potter, it's Harry Patis.
Yeah. Yes. I know that's
There's the title.
the fish sauce.
Harry Patis.
And they're also what do you call this? Philam, right? They're born here, so the
Yeah.
idea is they come from here, brought to the Philippines, and then they're finding out their roots. So an educational opportunity to for people to learn about our heritage.
That's super cool.
And I want to talk about the stories that I grew up with, and of course, pre-colonial Philippines is something I want to explore in this series.
Well,
So.
look, when you get all of that like under development and you got it rolling, please let us know when you can.
Yeah.
Jackie actually has a question for you right now that she pulled up on her phone.
I pulled up your Twitter, and it's you quoted a tweet that said, "What is your most controversial movie opinion?" So I want to know yours.
What is controversial? What did... I don't know if I have one.
Infinity Wars is better
I'll
than
say mine.
Endgame.
I'll say mine. Mine is like whenever people are, have scenes that are filmed in like Mexico or third world countries, you don't have to put the yellow film on it to make it look poor. Like, I'm just saying, we already know. And trust me, when I go and hop off the plane of like, whatever airline I'm going to Mexico, I don't see like a yellow in front of me.
It's funny you say that. I lived at San Jose for a little bit when I was working at Intel in this game company. After we're done, I came back to LA and there was a yellow film.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
This is so not clear.
I know, right? They just had to make it look like you're somewhere else.
Right.
Speaking of somewhere else, my controversy: Joe Coy's Easter Sunday was not fully filmed in the Bay Area.
Oh wow!
There was a part filmed in Vancouver, Canada.
Ooh.
Oh,
interesting.
Joe Coy, you're a fraud. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So, do you have one?
I'm thinking of something. It's not a. I think it's not a well-known film. It's this animated movie that I like a lot, called Flight of Dragons, and it really sucks, I guess. So my students, when I was teaching a class, that was one of the movies we were gonna redesign. And I was so excited. Oh, this is a movie I watched when I was younger. All these dragons, you could, because each dragon has earth, fire, elemental dragons that you could redesign. And then I sent it to them so they could watch it. And I was watching it. It's like, oh my god, this sucks. They're gonna, yeah. So they also thought it did, and then my co-teacher Kevin Shen, he said, well, that's why we're redesigning it.
Right? This is your job. This is why you got the job.
Man, that's another goal I want. I want to direct the live action version of Flight of Dragons. That is
putting it out to existence like that.
Yeah, put it out there.
There we go. Well, Anthony Francisco, everybody, thank you for joining us on the Mexipino podcast.
Yeah.
When is your NFT supposed to drop?
Oh yeah, it's dropping in like by the end of this month.
Wow.
End of September?
End of September, maybe before the end of September. We're trying to figure out when exactly, but definitely not after September.
Okay. For sure.
Wow. And where can everyone find you on social media?
Right. My Twitter is artsaf, and Instagram is Anthony_Francisco_art, And the project that I'm mentioning, the NFT, is called Creature Chronicles. Please visit the Twitter spaces that we're gonna be doing soon. And in like 3 days or 4 days, we went up to 12,000 followers. So
Dang.
Wow.
Okay.
doing a
Amazing.
good job. And the Discord is now I think at 7,000. So things seem to be going well. I'm hoping we would mint out all the whole collection. Hopefully, of course, we're saving a little bit of it to give away to people to join the contest and stuff. Which I hope you guys join it.
We'll join us on a
absolutely.
Discord and Twitter.
Yeah. Join
Okay,
us.
okay.
Creature Chronicles, right?
Or even in the spaces. I would love to, you guys host some of it. But
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of
absolutely.
course.
Yeah,
We'd be
whatever
totally
you need us
down,
to
whatever you
host, we
need.
got you.
yeah, that would be amazing. But thanks for having me, and I know I could talk all day with you guys.
Oh, that's why we need you back ASAP,
Yeah.
my friend. My name is Nico Blitz.
I'm Jackie Ramirez.
Anthony Francisco.
And this is the Mexipino podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Adios.